So I quickly want to start up from this chart, and I just made it very quickly in front of you. Okay, sorry, in front of you because I wanted to show this. So basically, last time in 2018 bull market, we topped at around 2018, and in the 2022 bear market, the bottom was basically the all-time high was the 2018. You can see this was the bottom, and we did a small deviation below the actual top. So this was the actual top around the 20k, and the actual bottom was the 16k. So there was some sort of deviation, but overall we bottomed out at the all-time high of the previous all-time high of the bull market. Now I am expecting the same thing to play out this market as well, this cycle as well, where we bottom out with a small deviation below the last previous all-time high of the last cycle, which was around the 69k, around 70, 68. So I'm expecting a sort of deviation where we sweep this liquidity we have here around 45k, sorry, the 49k, and we sweep this liquidity. We form this deviation that we formed here, like 16k. The actual top was 20k, but we bottomed out at around 60k. I'm expecting something similar where the actual top is 68k and we bottom out around this level, which is 50k, 49k, because we have the liquidity here. In this scenario, we have an FVG around this area, and in this scenario we have a wick, very big wick around this area. So I'm expecting the Bitcoin to be bottom around very soon. We are definitely closer to a bottom than a top here. I'm just looking forward for spot accumulation. I think, and I posted this on my X as well. Let me browse this up real quick. Posted this on my X as well. If you don't follow, I think you should follow. Bitcoin bear market accumulation, and I said Bitcoin below 760k is great for accumulation, and I genuinely believe that, and this is something I'm also gonna personally do. Anything Bitcoin below 60k is just, it's just very cheap. I think this is a very good buying opportunity. The data suggests that we are going to bottom out soon. So this is, if you're looking for a spot accumulation, this is the area. And anything below the 40k, 50k is, I think, is essentially hilariously cheap. And this is where you just want to go heavy. But when you're sitting at 58k, 55k, this is where you want to have like 50 to 60% of the cash and 40 to 30% of the cash deployed in the market. This is basically what I am doing. But overall, what I wanted to point out that I am expecting the Bitcoin to be bottomed out very soon, and the data suggested this is one of the confluence that I'm showing you. There are a lot of confluences showing that we are closer to a bottom than a top. I think 20k, 10k down, and we finally come out. I just don't think so that we are going to go to the 25k to 30k. I think that's where the things will get extremely messy. I just don't think so we're going to get this low. I think we're going to just we are definitely going to make a new low. And I have been talking about a new low to be made from a very long time. The market basically moves in two directions, okay? Okay, so let me explain this. The market moves in a range, then it trends, then it range, then it trends. So the most money that you make is in the range, and the 80% of the time market ranges. So if you don't know how to trade the range, basically you are missing the market 80% of the time. So you should basically, it is obligatory upon you to learn how to trade the ranges, and this is what I'm good at, and this is what I basically, this is where I have made the most money, is trading the ranges. So right now market is not in a range. What I just explained, the market is not in a range. You can see it was in a range, but it have now broken the range. You can see it have now broken the range. Instead, the Bitcoin is in a trend now. So basically we move from ranges to the trend. We move from ranges to the trend. So Bitcoin currently is at the trend, and I don't know how to trade the trends at as much as I do, as I know how to trade the ranges. So that is why I am refraining from taking the trades or giving the trades, and that is why you will see that lately I haven't been giving signals on my X, or even if I'm giving, they're mostly either hitting the stop losses or the break even. I am man enough to acknowledge that my trades this month and the half of the previous month haven't been great, and the sole reason is that because I acknowledge that I am just not that much great when it comes to trading the trends. And now you may ask me that why do you not like to trade the trends, Ways? I mean, technically the trend is usually very volatile and you should be able to trade the trends, right? And that's a very good question, but let me tell you the answer. That answer is that Bitcoin almost never give you the high confluences setups on higher time frame when it is trending. And to give you the example, in this scenario where Bitcoin went from the 74k to the 120k, the ideal entry would have been this. The ideal entry would have been this at 88k. But if you see, the Bitcoin came to the 98k, then it almost made an all-time high without even coming to the 86k. So the Bitcoin never retraces into the discount or the premium areas for us to take the trades. Now look at this example. The Bitcoin was in trend. We went from 126k to the 82k, and we never gave a proper entry into the proper discount area. If we draw the Fibonacci from high to the low, it never gave an entry into the discount area. So that is why I am never a fan of trading the trends that much. To give you the one liner of entire update is that Bitcoin is looking horrendous and we are going lower. We will make a new low. The ideal bottom that I'm expecting is around the 49k. If we lose the 49k level, which is a very big if we do, then the 40k is the next level where you want to go like 90 to 80% in the Bitcoin. Well, 80 to 75% in the Bitcoin, and after that you just need to start praying. That's it. You just need to start praying, because if you lose the 43k, then I just don't have that much good hopes for the Bitcoin, because then we're looking at 30ks. And I hope we will not lose the 43k, because that's a very major and important level. Even though I do not even expect the 49k to be lost, but there is a chance that we might wake out towards the 43k. So it is just good to have all of the possibilities marks out. So that's for the overall Bitcoin update right now. It's looking horrendous, and I'm not interested in taking the trades, if that makes sense. Now let's move on to the Ethereum. I have been posting about Ethereum on my X, because the levels on the Ethereum is pretty clear. Sorry guys. We were in this range, monthly range. We did a breakout of this monthly range, blah blah blah. I did all of this bullshit. It was very weak. So when we finally did a breakdown from a very major support on the Ethereum, we did a retest, and after that we have been pretty much respecting these levels pretty good, like you can see. And I talked about this on my X as well. That's why I highly say that you should follow me on the X, because I do provide decent amount of updates. And you can see this was the only level that I was looking at, blah 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 blah. But basically this was the box where I said that if we lose this level, you already know what's coming, which I explained in this update, that Ethereum basically have no major supports. If we lose this level, we do not want this level to be lost. If I show you the weekly level, basically the road to the road to the 1180 is pretty clear. If we lose this level, the road is pretty clear, and there is nothing stopping the Ethereum. Like last time we did wake out at the 1300, but this is not a strong support. The strong support is this 1500 level. You can see how much time previously we have bounced from this level. This is not the level you want the Ethereum to be lost. If we lose this level, then you know what's coming on the Ethereum, which is 1170, what I meant. So that's why I was betting on a long from this area, but the Ethereum is so weak that it is not even producing a bounce from this level.